Hello, it is Alex from BSC Designer. In this tutorial, I will share with you some productivity hacks for our software. If you plan to scale strategy planning with BSC Designer, then these ideas will save your team a lot of time and effort. Let's start with some less known keyboard shortcuts. You can create a new item on all tabs by pressing N key on your keyboard. For the KPIs tab, the N key will create sub-items. To create a new indicator on the same level as the selected item, use the Shift plus N combination. Another key combination that you use in many software tools is the classical Ctrl plus C and Ctrl plus V. They will help you to copy and paste items on the KPIs tab. You can also do this for different scorecards. For example, I can copy some indicator from the quality scorecard and then paste it to my scorecard. The software asks me if I want to paste item or link item. If I select the link item option, the software will create an imported indicator that uses another scorecard as data source. Let's talk more about the columns on the KPIs tab. You can use this button to quickly change the columns layout by selecting one of the predefined profiles, such as budgets or initiatives. You can customize your default profile by clicking Edit button, or you can create a new profiles that will be available for your team. Here is another productivity improvement to have in mind. When you create a new indicator, the software assigns default properties to it, such as measurement units, update intervals, and data inheritance type. If you plan to create many indicators with some specific settings, then you can adjust the default parameters. In the Options dialog, you can adjust the default update interval as well as default inheritance setting. In the Measurement Unit dialog, you can set the units used for the new indicators. By the way, when you need some currency to be your measurement unit, add it to the software via Settings, Organization, Currencies. The new currency will appear as measurement unit, plus it will be available as a budget currency for the initiatives. This way, the software will be able to convert this currency into the primary currency when generating the cost of strategy report. After some time, your team will develop their unique use patterns for the software. The software helps to manage and scale these patterns. In BC Designer, we have performance formulas. The formulas to calculate the progress using KPIs value, baseline, and target. Users can add their own performance formulas. If you plan to reuse those formulas in the future, then click the Save as Template button in the Performance Formula dialog. The same applies to the dashboards. If your team found a good layout for the charts where the visual effects and the data are well balanced, then click on the Properties button for the dashboard and then click the Save as Template to reuse this layout for another scorecard. A similar approach works for the reports. Your team can customize report columns and rows and filters. Then use Save as Profile button to remember the report settings in your account. Good strategies are the product of discussions. Let's see how the software can help in this context. Should you need to capture some date-related comments, open a comment dialog. To do this, press the C key on your keyboard, C for comment. In practice, you don't always have time to write down the ideas properly. In this case, many people send themselves an email to get back to some ideas later. You can send this email to BSC Designer. The tool will put your ideas in a special scorecard in the form of comment initiatives. You can find more information about this function on the Integrations tab in the software settings. Some more thoughts about making strategy discussion more productive. Sometimes, when discussing ideas with your colleagues, you need to show some KPI or dashboard to support your arguments with data. In this case, you can share the direct link to the item. When your colleagues follow the link, the software will open the required scorecard and will focus on the element needed. Sometimes the discussion about strategy moves from the software to the presentation slides. How to add a strategy map to a presentation? For some large strategy maps, making a screenshot is not an option, as it won't fit the screen. The turnaround is to use the export function, which will generate a picture file with a map. The same applies to the dashboards, which can be exported as a picture file as well. Finally, let's talk about some tricks to keep your team informed. The fastest way to keep someone informed about a goal or KPI is to assign this person as owner. Owners get automatic notifications that administrators can define on the Workflow tab. By default, BC Designer sends updates to the owners by email, but you can set up notifications to some webhook. For example, you can configure a webhook for the company's Slack channel. We discussed some productivity hacks for BC Designer. Most of them were implemented because our users asked for them. So if you see something that would boost your productivity in BC Designer, please let us know.